Okay, here's part 2 of the air filter rebuild project. The foam has just arrived, so I am just getting the this base ready to put the foam on there, and I am actually going to repurpose the this bit of metal here from that paper filter that didn't quite work out, but I want to use that as I want to sort of tweak it, create kind of like a retaining ring on the outside to help hold the foam in place. So I measured the inner diameter of between these two sides, and now I'm just going to cut around it and fit it all up. Okay, so I cut the that wire outer sleeve down to size. It was an exercise in tedium. Now it's time to cut the foam. The way I did that was I traced the outer diameter of the air filter base, and then calculated the circumference. So if everything they taught me in math class is true, I should cut a strip 424 millimeters, and I'm going to have to measure the inner diameter here, and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, here is the air filter foam, and I measured it out. I had to cut it on the diagonal because going lengthwise it isn't quite long enough. So let's see. I have it having a little square and a super sharp razor blade helped. I just did 3 cuts. First cut for kind of just to have a line, and then followed it in 2 times and cut pretty cleanly. I fitted the foam into the air filter base, and obviously there's a seam here. I did cut a little bit more just so there's a little bit of overlap, just pushing together, but I'm going to put sealant on this to close it up, and then of course I'll put that wire mesh around the outside just to keep it all together. Okay guys, so here's the finished product as it stands. Repurpose the inner base, cut the foam. I actually doubled it up on top of the seam. I put another little styrofoam piece over that seam, and then I put that wire mesh around it just to hold everything together. And so it's not perfect, but better than what I had. And I guess the real test is going to be how well the engine runs when this is in. One thing I should mention is the reason why this has been a major focus of mine is because the bike's been running fine with the choke on, but once I take the choke off, it starts to race toward the red line. And I think the reason for that was because there was a big hole just basically leading it out. So I'm going to put this in, fire up the bike, and this is basically the moment of truth. It's the last major obstacle I have, so fingers crossed, but if it doesn't work, I'll just have to keep trying. Filter looks in the bike. Let's close it up.